Hello and welcome to today's Wild Hearthstone deck tech and gameplay video on Kingsbane Rogue. Kingsbane Rogue uses the namesake card of the deck, Kingsbane. So we want to not only draw our Kingsbane early and often, we also want to buff it. And because of Kingsbane, we actually keep all of our buffs to the weapon. Things like Deadly Poison and Paralytic Poison and all of the other weapon buffs that are in the deck are actually permanent. We also run cards that can help us either draw the actual Kingsbane in question, let's see, kind of like a raiding party, or even Cavern Shiny Finder. Also, kind of included in that is Selfless Sidekick. I think this is a great, very budget opportunity to or a budget card to put in the deck. We also just run other sort of generic, kind of helps us not die cards. We have cards kind of like the Dread Corsair that enjoy having a weapon with good attack, Course for a little bit of interaction, same thing with Blade Flurry. Also have Sinstone Graveyards, and sometimes we do just need a board to fight our opponent. And that's all for the deck tech. Remember to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you would like to see more of my grab bag content, and if you have any sort of comments, like, say, substitutions for certain cards, go ahead and leave a comment down below. With that out of the way, we'll go on to game number 1. And game number 1 with our little Kingsbane Rogue.
Can escape my fury.
Alright, we have drawn the Kingsbane. As a general practice for mulligans, I have found that it works best when you always search for either the Kingsbane or one of the ways that you can draw a Kingsbane. Of course, if you happen to, have a Kingsbane in your opening hand, then don't be afraid to keep certain weapons buffs, like the Silverleaf Poison. Let's see, our opponent is probably playing some sort of, quest. No? Okay, no quest. In that case, I don't know what's going on.
Justice is mine.
It could be some sort of big priest or some res priest kind of stuff. It could go either way, this game, depending on what the draw's on. I haven't done anything, so there is that. That's pretty lovely. We'll go ahead and buff up our weapon some. We'll go ahead and bonk him in the face. Not that bad. We also now, since we drew the Cavern Shiny Finder, we know for certain that we'll be able to keep on applying pressure to our opponent's face with a Kingsbane. Okay, I don't know what our opponent's doing. I guess they could be a rogue before somebody tries to use that one.
Justice is mine.
So in the meantime, we'll just go basically fake roll our stuff. Go ahead and coin out the Shiny Finder. The next turn, we'll probably just play the Kingsbane and maybe the Graveyard and just take a turn off. As we still try to figure out what our opponent's doing, as they haven't played any cards. Which really sort of messes up the my calculations. Okay, I no longer know what they're doing. So yeah, we'll go ahead and Graveyard Weapon.
Justice is mine.
I don't think there was anything I would have drawn that would have really, I was about to say, that would have really changed my calculus, but I probably should have attacked first. But I'll do next turn. Since next turn we're probably going to play the other Graveyard. See what our opponent does, because they have to do something. They can't just heal and pass all the time. I have 8 cards in hand. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Oop, 1 second, I have to adjust the microphone. Pardon the noise. There we go. That should help a little bit. Okay, so it's Hysteria. So it's an actual... so it's not a rogue, basically. So it's an actual priest. They appear to just be some sort of controlling deck, a little bit, as far as I can tell. I'm going to keep that for next turn. That way I can Deadly Poison attack and then have the combo to draw it again with the raiding party, is the general idea. Since they appear to be something more controlling, I doubt that I'm going to be able to just totally walk all over them. Just a little I'm not concerned. I'm confused, that's the word. Just confused as to what our opponent is trying to do here. Besides, just control the board and stall and wait and all that jazz. 1 second. There we go. I felt that sneeze coming on and was able to mute in time. Alright, Thorazam. You can always hit with a Thorazam because that's important enough to get rid of. So we'll go ahead and, like we said, Deadly Poison first. Use that to... hold on. Let's play the Corsair while it's free.
Blood and plunder.
Then we hit the Thorazam. Pretty useful. Then we'll go ahead and Raiding Party. That's honestly pretty useful. So now we can Buccaneer into the Kingsbane. Also, again, our the Corsair is free. So we've gotten a, well, I'll say storm count of high enough to get some pretty big ghost off of the graveyards here. Now they could have another Mass Hysteria or something, or like a Psychic Scream. Wouldn't be too surprising. But yeah, I just basically wouldn't doubt them having some sort of sweeper. As Priest is basically the class for sweepers, more or less. Hey, I was a sweeper. It does leave our 7/7, which is nice. We'll go ahead. Yeah, we'll attack first. Okay, that's honestly pretty useful. So let's see, we get 14. We'll go ahead and Fog Sail Freeboot in their face. I would be surprised if they don't have, like, maybe like a Reno or something to heal the full. Because otherwise, we've put them in admittedly in a good spot for a somewhat aggressive deck. In that, they either have to severely impact our board or basically heal to full, or we just kill them, so.
It is finished.
Okay, yeah, and sometimes, like I said, that's a good place to be in this aggressive deck. As an aggressive deck against a controlling game. This is true in Hearthstone and Magic and probably any other card game. You have to, at some point, make, and this has been talked about before, you sometimes have to just make your opponent have the thing, be it a sweeper or a Reno. Don't be afraid to develop somewhat into a board because of the possibility of what might be. Don't let that stop you from doing some damage now, because a control deck is always going to go later than you anyway. But anywho, on to game number 2. And game number 2 with our little Kingsbane Rogue. And like we talked about in the first game, none of these are Kingsbane themselves, or a way to find Kingsbane, so we'll just throw the whole thing back. Since without the namesake of the card, the deck sort of kinda doesn't really work. We do have a raiding party, which is nice. Admittedly not like an easy way to get the combo going, which isn't the best. But I think we'll largely be okay. Alright, coining out a 2-drop.
The Queen's power is beyond your
Okay, so is it like a Naga Mage? I'm in it though. Hey, alright, we drew it anyway, which is good. So in that case, we'll go ahead and Kingsbane and use our little Paralytic Poison.
Justice is
We'll just try and go face for right now. Since I would imagine well, not all of the Naga cards, but most of the, like, Naga cards that I have for my own mage list, that will probably come to a video at some point, are a little bit more controlling. I would imagine we're still trying to play the aggressive role here. But of course, we shall see. But the fact that they're running an Amalgam of the Deep almost guarantees that it's some kind of Naga mage, and not, like, purely. Then, at minimum, pretty heavily influenced.
Justice is mine.
Bonk him in the face. I think we'll play the Corsair. Since this turn, next turn I can always Leeching Poison and then do the Raiding Party to find the Kingsbane again. Now, they could trade in hero power if nothing else this turn.
Sorry, Squishy, I'm working.
Is it this turn? No, okay, so it's actually curious. Okay. Alright. I don't even care how this game goes. I love seeing like actually pretty interesting brews that you don't see often. And Naga Mage is on that list. Huh. I think the plan remains largely the same. So we're going to Leeching Poison and kill the one Naga. Yeah. Kill the one Naga we can. Use our Dread Corsair to trade into the Slither Spear, sorry. And then we'll just raiding party.
Job's done.
Alright, that's not bad. The Slither Spear and the Murkwater Scribe would imply a little low to the ground, more aggressive deck, so I don't know if we need to sort of play to a more like mid-range kind of thing. But that might very well be like the call here. At least for right now. 1 second. Got a cough coming on. Pardon. I'm so sorry. I thought I managed to hit that mute button, but I did not. So we'll go ahead and Buccaneer. Play the Kingsbane. Then we'll use a free booter to kill 2 health Naga. Use the Kingsbane to deal with it. Yeah, I might do a little bit of editing in post to, after the fact, get rid of that cough. I apologize. I thought I was quick enough on the mute button. So we are feeling pretty good about where we are. Yeah, then we gotta basically take down the Buccaneer. That's basically a free one to do. But that does sort of eat up their whole turn. That's not good at all. Alright. Sure, we'll do the poison. I think we might take a turn off.
Justice is mine.
Actually, if I don't take damage, if I'm immune from the poison, does that mean I take damage? Yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah, I shouldn't get frozen, actually,
Justice
right?
is mine.
I think that's how that works. Yeah, I was right. Alright. I'm gonna keep the freebooter in hand so I have a combo activation for Coerce. Since next turn we'll be at 7 mana, so I can just attack with my Kingsbane first and then play the sidekick and just get the weapon all over again. Of course, we'll determine what our opponent does. I think that makes I think the other one's 5 mana. Just fireball to the face. Okay, so they've either paced out or parsed out the damage, and my days are numbered, or that's like a desperation thing, which is possible.
Justice
but all we can do is continue with our game plan, really. Of course, which is nice. Cutting class will be lovely.
Guess what dropped?
Job's done.
For the next turn, anyway. Let's see what our opponent does. Let's see what they play first. That's a Blizzard. Okay, that's not great. But it is basically a free turn, so we can do whatever we wanted to do. Go ahead and play the Graveyard, since we don't know how if this game is going to go longer or not. But if it does, we would like to have certain options. Ooh, alright, we'll take a Sharp Sword Oil.
Justice is mine.
Would like a ghost off of the graveyard that can live, or is basically outside of Flame Strike range, because that's, I think, the biggest sweeper that they have access to, I think. That's reliable anyway. I know that one Dragon Breath card can be higher. Let's see, 6 and 9. Yeah, I was about to say we're threatening lethal. That fireball going to the sidekick is a good sign.
Turning tides. What's with your mind?
Alright. Honestly, Cloak of Heroes is not a... Cloak of Shadows, sorry. Don't know why I said that. It's not a bad idea here, honestly. Did we go face?
Is mine.
Let's see what we draw. That's pretty good. So we see, we're 1, if I'm killing stealth this turn, I kind of don't need to do all the other stuff. So yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and summon a ghost just so we can, like, more appropriately, like, threaten lethal. Hang on. I was able to get that one muted before the cough came on.
You should have stayed on land.
So, I had totally forgotten about that one. Yeah, okay. I mean, to be fair, Flame's Right was bigger. We're at 8, right? Oh, we just kill him with the freebooter. Let's not be rude.
Justice is
Or let's do
mine.
you.
Justice is mine.
Hell yeah, performing very well. About as well as it has been through testing. But Kingsbane is one of those decks that... Kingsbane, as a concept also, as well as a deck, is one of those things that Hearthstone does good in that it leads into mechanics that are unique to Hearthstone. It's one of those, it's kind of why, like, quests are fun in Hearthstone and probably wouldn't really work in Magic. Well, Hearthstone is the most fun for me when what the game is itself thrives and it doesn't try to, like, emulate other card games. I mean, besides the base amount that's going to exist by virtue of being a card game, but when it leans more into things that are unique to it and not so much so trying to, like, be what everyone else is being, then game, you know, Hearthstone is really fun at that point. So basically, you know, be your own person and don't let the squares tell you what to do and all that jazz. And with that out of the way, we'll go on to game number 3.
Escape my fury.
And game number 3 with our little Kingsbane Rogue. And like we talked about before, none of these are Kingsbane or ways to get it, so we throw it all back. Of course, it's great when you can get one of those things in a mulligan, but sometimes, you know, you're just going to get hit by RNG, and you don't really have an option. Right. So you have to have another Jade Idol, which is pretty interesting. Okay, we'll just pass. It's not worth wasting the coin for such meager gains. There's no way of knowing what this is, sadly. But pretty much all druids nowadays are like broken-y Dane-style bullshit. And I don't mean that in any sort of like derogatory or hateful way towards Dane, whose videos I watch and enjoy, but let's be honest, your boy has a certain deck style he enjoys, and that's totally fine. But anywho, back to our game. Okay, these are not Kingsbane or ways to acquire it. This should be relatively self-explanatory, but if you cannot, in a deck that revolves around a titular card, being Kingsbane in this case, it is Jade. If you can't draw that, then needless to say, life is going to be a little bit difficult, you know?
Glory! I'm here for the gold!
I'm going to go ahead and keep this last charge of the weapon, just so I can freeboot her if they play another Jade thing.
Free your mind from its bonds.
Right. Hell yeah, dude. Wait, what? Add copies of both choices to your hand. Ooh, I actually misread that card. Interesting, though. I am in it. I was wondering how it would handle that, but it does actually recognize the difference between... Okay. We're in some trouble, especially if we don't... Oh, God. Especially if we don't find the thing the deck reads.
Justice is
Go ahead
mine.
and trade. This is a bad, bad spot to be in. We don't like this. I really don't want to... I hope we, like, manage to get a hold of a Kingsbane before, like, a selfless sidekick turn. But we've had, as you saw in the last 2 games, we've had some good luck here. So I was bound to get a couple of low rolls eventually. Not that I mind, of course. It's just part of the game. Alright, come on. God, no, man, this is really bad. Spin 2. That should go down to 3, right? Yeah, I can do both.
Blood and plunder.
Just gonna keep the knife right now. We're not gonna like throw away charges because we're not getting lucky with the hits we need for this to work. I do have a Blade Flurry if his board gets a little bit big, but Jade Golems, by their very definition, very quickly begin to like get above what my limited suite of removal can interact with, honestly. I think it's... we just have to get the sidekick here. It's the only real option we have.
Justice is mine.
I don't love this, like, in any way, shape, or form. But we're just kind of, like, left with, you know, out of choice. But I still stand by Selfless Sidekick for this. At least for Kingsbane. I don't know. UI. Oh, this is like... I mean, it's just gay Arcanus. Like, kind of old school, but not in a bad way. That's not great. Give you... Honestly, this sounds so crazy. I literally just... I have so much armor. It's not great, is it? So I can get rid of you, trade the other one, get a couple of poisons and hope we draw something better.
Justice is mine.
Okay, Blade Flurries are nice. Kinda has to be said. It's not, like, fantastic or anything. But I think I'm gonna have to, like, make some sort of desperate Hail Mary plays if I want to do anything, because Jade Golems, by their design, will just go later than me by a wide margin. I don't think we're going to be able to do it because we didn't find a Kingsbane, or our Kingsbane, early enough for that to really make a whole lot of, like, impact and apply pressure and force our opponent into, like, uncomfortable positions. Huh. Okay. That's not really what I expect, but that'll do.
Justice
Go ahead
is
and
mine.
attack and hope we draw. Something. Not helpful. Not helpful. Wow, I'm just really, like, kind of shit out of luck today. That's such a weak ghost that I'm not even going to bother with it. With a 2/2 ghost. Yeah, we're just getting really screwed. If somebody were to ask, say, why aren't you running like a Renathal in this list? I would argue that because the deck is so laser focused on needing its Kingsbane, I don't want to dilute the deck anymore. But also, there's another thing, or another reason why I wouldn't run a Kingsbane. God damn. Wait, what? Yeah, okay. I don't want to, besides the not wanting to loot my deck and therefore making it harder to find the card that I want, I also, I don't have, you know, I stopped playing Hearthstone basically when Magic Arena's beta came out. So I was gone for the game for years and years, so I just don't have, like, a really good, collection to, like, fill those extra 10 slots, or 9, however you want to look at it, with, like, good cards. So, kind of, you know, got a little bit out of luck there. God damn, I'm not drawing any of what I need. Which is not helpful in the slightest. Oh, God. He can just hero power into that next turn. I'm actually going to peace out for the turn. Yeah, we're just... I already have enough of a difficulty, like, drawing the damn weapon from time to time. Not always, though. This is an outlier, but one of those outliers that just kind of comes with the territory. Normally, I would have probably scooped already, but for the sake of a video, I'll, like, run this game out. Yeah, you can't target me now. Alright, there's a UI. Come on, give me a Kingsbane or a way to draw a damn thing. Okay, they have so much armor, it's gonna start to be, like, really, really difficult. I'll give it 3 more turns, starting from the turn that it's about to start for me. And if I don't have a snowball's chance in hell in those 2 turns, I'll just skip it and end the video.
Is not.
Come on. Go ahead and gain your armor. God. Really, really sucks. Guess we just get rid of the largest thing, honestly. It's, like, so not interesting.
Justice is mine.
I hate having to use Blade Flare for such a low impact, but we honestly don't have the biggest amount of choice right now. And I also have to, like, cash in the graveyards for lower values than I would like, although a 4/4 is fine. Just for the sake of fighting for the board. Or as much as we can. We could very easily die this turn. 5, 6, 9. So if our opponent has a non-zero amount of damage, then we just die. That is if they're here. Come on. Hello, hello. There we go.
I got the best deals anywhere.
God. Admittedly, this deck is, like, pretty old school. In that, like... Even though, like I said earlier, that I've taken years off from Hearthstone, I always loosely kind of kept up with it. But this is still, like... I think I was still playing Hearthstone and increasing gadgets. I think.
My turn is
really not that much. But I say that partly because, as an actual veteran WoW player, it annoyed me that, like, gadgets ain't gotten more detail in the card game than it did in real life, or in the game. Sorry, not in real life. Sorry, Splice. What? Fuck. Okay, we gotta start playing this a little desperately. Okay, 4 attack here, so we do
Justice is
4
mine.
on you,
Oh, miserable end.
4 on you, Blade Flurry to clear. We just hit for 3, that's the most that we can, like, really hope to do. The fact that we even have a clear board at any stage is... sorry, not at any stage, at this stage, is, like, nothing short of a miracle. Come on, opponent. I'm trying here, and you're probably being a little BN, but you probably just don't know it. The fact that we still haven't found a Kingsbane or Kingsbane drawer already is nothing short of fucking bananas. Like, I get it, shit happens, you know? But still, a little bit crazy. Okay, how about you use your hero power and attack my face? Come on. Okay, thank you for at least being somewhat respectful of the time of others.
Death is eternal.
Alright, we gotta...
I'm almost out of cards.
Fatigue is not an option in this game. Okay, so we're at least now in the position where I have to, like, hit some nut draws. Are alright, just losing me. Alright, that's something. I don't think it matters.
Justice
But
is
it was
mine.
worth a shot. Oh, well, that's useful. Thank you for the Leeching Poison afterwards. Yeah. Yeah. Just see how big our little ghost can be. See, this, like, 7/7, even 6/6s is like the minimum level where, like, a ghost feels good to make. But anywho,
Well played.
we'll go ahead and call it. Thank you all for watching today's video. Remember to like the video if you like, subscribe if you like my weird random grab bag content and would like to see more in the future. And if you have any sort of questions down below, as long as they're, you know, constructive somewhat, I'll do my best to answer the comments. Thank you all, and have a great day. Bye-bye.